Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dave Thompson. I am your coach for this afternoon. You have just tuned in to Cleaning with the Academy. You know, the question I have here at the start of this afternoon is, do you have a question about something in the commercial cleaning industry? You know, something that's, maybe a burning issue that you haven't got the answer to yet. Maybe you're a cleaning operation and you found something special, something that you want to let everybody know about. That's right. I will talk with you this afternoon about anything and everything that you want to talk about as far as commercial cleaning. Now, here's your chance to get on, ask questions, get answers. We're streaming right now live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And I'm here to find out whatever the hot button is for you this week. So if you're new to the show, just sign in, to one of those as we're talking live here this afternoon. On the other hand, if you say, oh gosh, I'm listening to the recording and I missed it, go to academyofcleaning.com. You'll find a drop-down tab there. It's called Cleaning with the Academy. You can get on the panel and you can discuss things with us live on the air and be one of the people that kind of adds their, 2 cents. On the other hand, if you just have that question or you have some solution that you found or something just you want to let everybody in the commercial cleaning industry know about, there's a spot for you too. So you've got both things. Hey, by the way, folks, this is free. There's no cost to any of this. Where else on the web for the commercial cleaning industry today, here we are starting January of 2023, where can you get 4 hours of free coaching every month? Not only that, but hey, I'm willing to give you some of my, hacks and experiences, trials and tribulations from the last 50 years in the cleaning industry. But, I'm not only by myself every time. And as I said, there's a few people that'll join from time to time. And guess what? I am not going to talk to you by myself today because there's somebody else that said, hey, I've got something to talk about. So welcome to the show, Ken.
Thanks, Dave, very much.
Yeah, well, hey, I don't know. Is this your first time live on air to a coaching session?
I've never done this one before, but yeah, looking forward to it.
Well, hey, folks, you've got it right here. You, Ken, and I've known each other for a little while, and happens to be that we use some of your equipment, Ken. So yeah. Before I get into all of my stuff, who are you? What are you doing? And what do you want to know today?
My name's Ken Waddell. I'm the regional manager for Tornado and Power Flight equipment. Been in the cleaning industry about as long as Dave has, about all my life in one way or another. I love this industry. It becomes more and more important every year, and I love that we can help people not only preserve and protect the investments that they have in their buildings, but more importantly, we can protect the health of the people that are doing the cleaning and the people that are coming into buildings. So I have this kind of hate relationship with dirt. I love it because it's made me a good living for a lot of years, but I hate it because it should be outside and not inside the building. So I have dedicated my life to getting dirt out of buildings. And there's just a lot of different ways to do it. The industry has changed a lot in the last, especially 20 years. Dave has stayed on the forefront of those changes. You don't ever want to say you know it all.
By the time you do that, somebody's going to come up with something and prove you wrong.
You're setting yourself up there. So, this is just a good way to get a lot of people together with different kind of challenges and talk it over. And I appreciate you inviting me in today, Dave.
Well, the folks, this is the thing here. So if you're on one of those platforms, LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook, and you want to chat with us while we're talking today, please put something in the comments. I've got it up there on the screen where I can look at it. I don't see anything coming in at the moment here, but it does say that we're live on all of them. So we're good to go, Ken. Now, folks, I don't know if you've been keeping up with my hacks that I've been putting out. Now, we started these in December, kind of as a little bit of a test to put out a few and see how it works. Because, like Ken, hey, I mean, I'm a cleaner. That's what I do. All of this stuff is, I'm learning it as we go, Ken.
Right.
So let's see if I can hit all of the buttons right, folks. I don't know if I can or not, but we're going to give it a shot here again. I put out a hack about 2:00 in the afternoon every week. So let's start the afternoon, kind of get the juices flowing here as to some conversation, whether it's with Ken here or it's somebody here out there, it's got a comment. Let me get that comment back up there. There we are. There's my chat board. Okay. So let's see if we can get this up here and share this screen with you folks. There it is. Hey, I got that button right, Ken.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. So here is our cleaning hack from last week. So you can kind of see what they are. Take a listen. Welcome to another episode of Cleaning with the Academy. I'm Dave Thompson, your coach for today. Here's today's hack. If you got a Kaibat, you're running in the background. This is a lance. So instead of that little pinpoint spray or wide angle spray, this rotates. You gotta see this work, man. Did you see that dirt come down the wall? Look at that. Now, I'll tell you what, if you really want to clean something, this is what you need to have. That's my hack for today. So, folks, join me for another episode of Cleaning with the Academy. So, Ken, you'd asked a question, what was the hack of the day? Well, there you go. That's the one from last week. What do you think?
I think that's a cool tool right there.
Hey, you said something about you didn't like dirt, but man, I tell you what, did you see all that dirt running down that wall?
You know what? You were attacking that dirt. You were sending it down the drain, and it was getting out of that building. So you're my hero, man.
Here's the thing, folks, and this is what we do these hacks for. Why I'm showing you all this stuff. We have classes here at the Academy, and people say, "Oh, I can't afford a whole day," or you know what, I need to just know this. And that's what these hacks are all about, just so you can get these little short things. That was a minute long. We're going to have one of these every week, and they're going to be about a minute to a minute and a half. The thing here is on that one there, Ken, what I did is I had pre-applied my cleaning chemical to the wall. Is this such an unusual thing to do?
It may be unusual, but it shouldn't be unusual. You know what I mean?
Well, that's it. And so now, if you wanted to know how I applied the chemical, you're going to have to go watch some of the other hacks, because that was before this one. So there were like 3 or 4 weeks before this. Go back and watch those hacks and you'll see how I applied the chemical. But you know what is so interesting to me, Ken, is when we get into that restroom, this is the series that we've been doing, is decontaminating a restroom. How many people leave the chemistry where they put it? They don't rinse.
Oh, you're right. And what does that cause?
Go ahead. I'll listen to you and then I'll give you my version.
Well, if you don't rinse and you leave that residue on the floor, on the wall, wherever, it just attracts dirt. So you're gonna quickly see dirt building back up in the places that you just cleaned. Why is that happening? Because you're leaving all that soapy residue to attract that soil.
So, I mean, these people that, and I did this with the hacks, and if you missed the one, as I said, look at the others, but how many people put the chemical on a wall with a trigger sprayer? Doesn't cover the whole wall. Or they use a rag and you can see all the rag marks all over the wall. Now, I know somebody already sent me one note, and I appreciate your notes, folks. I really do. I don't have a Kaivac. What do you mean? How do I use that? Well, unfortunately, you got to have a Kaivac, because that's not meant for those 2,000, 3,000 PSI machines. And you don't want to be doing that in your bathroom anyway. However, there's ways to rinse a wall, even if you don't have one of those. Now, haven't seen anything come through yet. No comments. Let me check the board here. Ken, have you seen anybody use that before?
With that particular tool? No, I have not. That's a new one on me. Does that come with a Kaivac machine?
No, it does not.
Ah.
If you don't know about that, and that's why I call it a hack, Ken.
Ah.
Yeah, if you don't know about it, you probably haven't seen it. Now, if you looked at the very first hack that we put out, folks, you will also learn some other things that I did with that lance. And you're probably going, what was that? And I'm not going to tell you, because you got to look at the hacks. All right.
So are all these hacks available to go back and look at?
Yes, they are. Aha, somebody just put up one here from Facebook. Thank you. A Greek Clean just posted the urinal. Gee, I think somebody's been looking at my hacks. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, because the very first one I did, you are right. How to clean a urinal with a lance. And I can guarantee you, almost any urinal, folks, that you go to, if you take that lance and stick it in there and follow that hack I showed you, you will decontaminate the smell in that men's restroom. Because here's what people don't know, Ken, is that they go in there and they're using all these fragrances, they're using all this stuff on all these other surfaces, but in a urinal, the trap, the P trap, literally the P trap, goes down in there and goes like this. The chemical that you're using inside the urinal just flushes through. The trap gets caked with urine and urine salts, black mold. And when you stick that lance down in there, get ready to get your gas mask out.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And I got to tell you, folks, if you listen and you watch that hack, we were not play acting for the sake of the video. The smell was horrendous. We couldn't even stay in there. I was almost gagging just trying to get to the end of the little video there. See, that's what hacks are all about, folks, is give you these little tidbits of stuff that you can pick up. Thank you for that comment there on Facebook. I appreciate that. Hey, and you know what, Ken? That means that I've hit the right buttons, because it's all working.
It is working.
Hey, Okay, so I got another one I got to work over here. Ken, you've been doing this for quite some time, as you said, as I do this. Tell people how you got started. Come on, give it up.
I started actually when I was around 20, 21 years old. Um, I started cleaning carpet for a local carpet cleaning company here in Atlanta, and I learned a lot and got intrigued with the carpet cleaning business and the cleaning business in general. And then I started working for a place called Empire Paper Company that sold janitorial paper and janitorial products. I learned more and more about the cleaning business there. Then I started my own company and did that for about 15 years. Learned a ton there, of course, and sold that company, went to work for another company. I've always been like drawn toward the equipment side rather than the towels and tissues and deodorizers and things like that. And then about 10 years ago, Tacony, who owns Tornado and Power Flight, I had been working with them several years, buying equipment from them, and they called and said that the territory that I cover now, which is Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and Florida, was available, and wondered if I'd like to come on board and be a manufacturer's rep. And that's what I'd always wanted to do, really.
Really?
Yeah. So
I didn't know you always wanted to do this.
Yeah, I did. Wanted to be a manufacturer's rep. So it's been a great 10 years. I just celebrated my 10-year anniversary with Tacony and enjoy it. Like I say, it's an industry that gets better every year.
Oh, that's great. Hey, folks, if you don't know, I've got about a 50-year career in the cleaning industry. Hey, just like anybody, you have a start, but I sold all of the stuff that Ken is talking about for 35 years. I never wanted to be that manufacturer's rep. I didn't want to be out there on the road and doing that, but I've always had this, dealing this thing about imparting knowledge and building knowledge. So, hey, you're 10 years into what you want to do. I'm now 7 years into teaching and stuff only. And I guess, there's something that's kind of relative between us two guys this afternoon. There's a glare.
Wonder if that has anything to do with what we've been doing all these years.
You led me there, so I'm going to just, is this what cleaning does to you after a while?
I've seen some people that sell chemicals and so forth, and they try to tell you how safe their chemical is, and they'll rub it on their hands and rub it on their head and stuff like that. And most of those guys end up bald as well.
Yeah, well, I didn't do that, and I wasn't one of those that sprayed in my mouth either.
No.
Okay. So while we were talking there, I was giving some time to see if somebody else had another question here. I thank you for the one comment here on Facebook. Ken, there's a hack I put out every week, and we always try to come up with something different. Now, I got a suggestion from somebody that was off air this last week. Well, are you ever going to do anything other than just restrooms? Well, I got to tell you, we do all kinds of stuff. But the ones that we shot to start our program for the year was all about restrooms. However, this past week, I did a certification course for about 50 custodians at a school district here in Florida. And it was all about propane equipment and that. And one of the things, before you polish a floor with a propane, you need to clean the floor. So I took the time and all the movie setup that we do to actually tape this hack for this week. So now if you've got your juices flowing and you're listening to this either recorded or live this afternoon, go to academyofcleaning.com. It's right down there at the bottom, and you can submit a question. You can jump on this podcast right now. But here is the cleaning hack that we uploaded today. If I can hit the right button here and get it shared, Ken, there we are. We got it going. And here's our hat for today. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Cleaning with the Academy. I'm your coach, Dave Thompson, and today I'm going to talk to you about a hack when it comes to auto scrubbers. You know, everybody knows about rotary machines, you know, with the big pad that goes around and around. I've had those for years. I got a hack for you. Use a cylindrical brush. Now this machine right down here, you'll notice has two of them, one in front of the other, and they both rotate the same way. And what that does is it gets into all those little nooks and crannies and unlevel floors. You know, the thing is, whenever you're doing the floors, you don't always have just one type of floor. And you know, the thing is, people with pads, they never clean them. With these, you'll never have to clean it. That's my hack for you today. Come on back and I'll show you how this actually works at another episode of Cleaning with the Academy. Now, Ken, I don't know if you noticed it, because that was pretty quick for a minute, for only like, minute and 3 seconds. But did you notice that what used to be a black pad on that pad driver? No, you didn't catch that. So, hey, folks, that's why we record these. We put them out there because I actually put that picture in there. You know, tell you, Kim, what now? Okay, so let me just stop and go back. What do you think about that hack?
That could be my favorite all-time hack.
Oh, really?
That's the advantages of cylindrical brush cleaning are many, and the machine that you showed there is our BR1811 cylindrical scrubber. The way we do our numbers, by the way, a BR1811, the BR stands for brush, so it's cylindrical brush instead of disc. 18 meaning it's 18 inches wide, and 11 meaning it's an 11-gallon solution tank. So we have a BR91 that is cylindrical brush. It's 9 inches wide, and it's a 1-gallon tank. So we have them all different sizes. And when I started using and selling cylindrical brush machines, it was really eye-opening to see what you could do with these machines that you can't do with a rotary brush, which most of us have worked with forever. But there's a lot of advantages to cylindrical cleaning, and I look forward to getting into some of those with you.
You know, so the thing about it here is, why is this a hack today? You know, people say, you know, how do you come up with these? Well, the thing that I have found is everybody is used to a rotary. So I'm going to go back to this picture here because I want to show you this. There's that picture, Ken. How do you like that? How do you like that? Can I get that just a little full?
What is that brush on the left there?
That's a pad driver there.
Oh my!
That black pad is so worn out that the pad is gone, and it's actually scrubbing with the bristles that are supposed to hold the pad.
I've seen that many times.
Yeah, and so here's my point with that, Ken. Is with padded machines, when do they ever take the pad off and clean
it? They don't.
That's it. So how do you clean a dirty floor with a dirty tool?
Exactly.
And folks, as I said in the hack there, cylindrical brushes are self-cleaning. Have I misrepresented there?
You have not. They are they're spinning so fast, like on the BR1811 there. You have two brushes, and they're spinning at 650 RPM. So two times 650 is 1300 RPM. but there's
and the bristles are always digging, and so there's no way. I mean, they're going to get in all the unlevel because hey, come on, folks, floors are not smooth.
right.
Okay,
Right.
hang on. We got another Facebook comment here, so let me read this. Ken, I don't know if can you see that in the chat there? I don't know if you can or not.
I cannot.
Okay, here it is. Let's see. I'll tell you what. You know what? I just learned something, Ken, and we'll just do it this way. Here it is.
All right.
Is there an auto scrubber that you suggest for a small to medium commercial space? On new commercial cleaning, there are so many machines to do the research and watch the hacks. So, Ken, I'm going to let you answer that since you're on the panel and you're the manufacturer guy today.
There's not just one machine that's gonna do every type of floor. Cylindrical comes closer than most because with a cylindrical machine you can clean carpet most of the time, not on the
Well,
big
not
one.
with a cylindrical auto scrubber. Now, folks, hey, hang on. You can't do that with an auto scrubber.
Right. The handheld, the smaller handheld, you can do carpet with. You can do wood, rubberized floors, tile and grout,
LV.
LV. It's perfect for. So there's so many types of floors that you can do with cylindrical brushes now, and I imagine are most of the people that are attending this living down south, or could they be anywhere?
Hey, we're worldwide broadcasting to the world, Ken. You are on international TV.
All right. I sell a lot more cylindrical brush machines in, say, Florida than I do in Georgia. Why do you think that is, Dave?
I got to tell you, hey, this is just me talking here, on with our coaching this afternoon. I think it's just representation. I think it is people that actually are looking for changes. People that don't want to change are going to continue to use rotary.
That's true.
Okay. People that are looking to change and be different are going to look for that. That's why do people not believe in using oscillating? I mean, that's another one of the versions out there. I hear that. And we're not here today to talk about oscillating, but as we're now in the coaching part of our session today, we'll talk about all of it.
Right. But typically there is more tile and grout in Florida than there is in Georgia. And when you get those uneven surfaces, the rotary machines just don't do it. Even if you take the pad off and put a brush on, you're still kind of going across the surface. You're not going to get down into all the little pits and crevices that you need to. And the cylindrical brush just goes in there and cleans it out. The first time you do a floor that is really dirty with a cylindrical machine, it's going to look like a magic trick. It really does. And so I think that's why I sell more in Florida, because of all the grout down there. And it just solves a huge problem that grout tends to be, because most people will still hand mop a lot. And when you
don't get me started on that one, Ken. Don't get me going over there.
You drag a mop across a piece of tile, and the edge of the tile just scrapes all the dirt, and it just sends it right down into the grout. And at some point, you got to go get that stuff out. And cylindrical is just a great tool to do that with. Okay,
so this afternoon, as Ken was talking about that, I just pulled this up. This is in the hack video that we just showed you. And this demonstrates the rotary brush that hits the high spots and how the cylindrical brush gets down into the low spots. But, Ken, here's my thing. This isn't just tile and grout. What about, you mentioned rubber floors. What about stone floors, concrete floors? I was doing a floor the other day that was VCT and a tile was missing. The rotary wouldn't go across it. It's going to pick it up and throw it. But the brush just got down in there and cleaned it right out. And I just never have understood this. I've been selling and promoting cylindrical brush for close to 25 years, probably. And I just don't get how come people haven't got with it. And yes, I understand there is a cost difference up front, but folks, these machines last for 10, 15 years. The payback, Ken, has got to be astronomical.
It's unbelievable. They say that one rotary or one cylindrical brush equals approximately 100 floor pads. I think it's more than that personally, but if that's true, for every 10, 20 cases of floor pads that you're buying one cylindrical brush. Personally, I don't have people reordering cylindrical brushes, for 6 months, maybe a year is how long they're lasting, because they start out, with bristles this long, and as they wear, they just go down, float down, and then they'll get to a certain point that you need to replace them, and they're not very expensive when you do need to replace them.
Now, Ken, I actually moved down here from the Midwest. So during this time of the year, and I was just talking with a lady that was in Ontario, Canada earlier today, for you folks that are in those winter areas, which I'm not down here in Florida, thank you very much. They're dealing with, ice melt, salt, cinders, mud. Cylindrical brush doesn't build up in that. As we said, it's self-cleaning. So that means that brush is digging into all of that. So that means your chemical, your recovery, everything is better. And is that not why we're running an auto scrubber?
Absolutely. One way that I demonstrate to people the self-cleaning aspect of cylindrical brushes is I'll clean something really bad. Let's say the back end of a kitchen. I mean, what you're getting out of there looks like used motor oil. It's terrible. And I'll run it over there, and then I'll take the brush off the machine, and I'll make a swipe down my shirt if I have a white shirt on or sleeve. And there's no transfer of dirt. It's not dirty. And people are just amazed, how did that brush not get dirty? Well, it got dirty for a minute, but it's spinning so fast, and then the new solution is coming down and cleaning each one of these bristles as it's spinning, and the brushes just stay clean.
Yeah, I know a guy when I first started selling and started getting into changing my mindset, because, hey, folks, even though here I am giving you this hack, and I said I've been preaching this for a number of years, just like everybody else, I had to change my mindset first. When I got to it, I remember it was a guy in Texas that had on a white jacket, and he showed that he just took it right off of the machine and went right over that jacket, and there was nothing on it. I'm like, now that's the way you clean.
Absolutely. You've got a clean tool cleaning a dirty floor, not a dirty tool cleaning a dirty floor.
Yeah, and I think that's the hack, and that's the reason that we have these hacks, folks, that we want to get to you every week and have this time for coaching. I don't know. We don't have any question here other than, let's see. That was our question there. Oh, yeah, and he said he's new to commercial cleaning, and hey, that's great. Come to the academy. We got some really good classes for those folks that are just getting started in the cleaning industry. You can go to academyofcleaning.com. You see it streaming right down there at the bottom. You can see all of our online classes as well as our live classes. Tomorrow, I'm going to actually be doing some carpets, and we're going to be using cylindrical brush technology, cleaning carpets, but probably not in the way that you would expect. Gee, imagine I do something different. Ken, we don't have any other comments here. I appreciate you jumping on here with us. Guess what? Next week, we're going to be talking about your machine as well.
Can I come back on?
It's another link, another day, Monday at 2:30 next week. We'll be right back here live. If you want to, please join us. Drop us a line, a question. If you want to be on the panel with Ken and I guess Ken's coming back. So, hey, there we go. We would love to have you be on the panel. There's room for 6 people so that we can talk about it and discuss things. If you have something that you have seen, something that, trips your trigger, and you just want to share it with everybody, that's what we're here for. That's why we call it Cleaning with the Academy. It's a free Q&A session. We have free. It's free. I mean, can you beat free on a Monday afternoon?
Hey, Dave, just before we go, do you mind if I run through a few other really quick advantages to cylindrical, just to get people's juices flowing? They may have questions that they can send in, and you can deal with those. But just real quickly.
Go right for it. You got the floor, my friend.
Okay, thank you. Another big advantage to cylindrical cleaning is it generally uses 20 to 30% less moisture, less water. So guess what? When you're using less water, you're also using less chemical, generally speaking, unless you're pre-spraying, which Dave and I are both big fans of. But less water is good. We talked about higher RPMs, 650 to 1300 RPMs versus the standard 175 RPMs. You have more contact pressure on the floor. If you have a 20-inch pad and it's sitting on the floor, the pressure is dispersed all the way across the pad. If you have a brush, there's only about 1.5 inches of the brush in contact with the floor. All that pressure is on that 1.5 inches. So it's more concentrated. You get a lot more brush pressure on the floor, usually about 6 times more than you do with a rotary machine. There's no overspray and splashing on baseboards and so forth. Everything is going down. Even if you have a rotary machine with a skirt, sometimes the skirt cannot be adjusted exactly correct, and you're just throwing things all over your baseboards, and then you have to go back and clean that up. And some of our rotary equipment actually has brush or baseboard cleaning brushes that you can put on there and clean your baseboards as well.
But my question to Ken is why add something to it when you can do it with a cylindrical and not put it on the baseboard? I mean, come on.
Absolutely.
I mean, and folks, if you ran a rotary auto scrubber and you make a turn, I mean, you know what? I've used all kinds of different manufacturers of machines, and just because Tornado's sitting here with me today, I'm not going to give him any slack. You know what? When you have a rotary machine, they do not pick up 100% of the water 100% of the time. But I will tell you that with a cylindrical brush machine, it's not throwing the water out. It picks up 100% of the water. It's much more better recovery.
Absolutely.
I mean, and that's the whole thing. We're trying to remove the dirt from the floor. So our start that we started this afternoon, Ken, was dirt. I had a gentleman tell me, he said, "What's cleaning? Taking dirt and putting it in its place."
Yes, I like that.
I did too. That's what, hey, so folks, see what you have. You get another free hack for the afternoon. Taking dirt and putting it in its place. And it's not on the floor.
That's good. We need dirt. Dirt's great.
Yeah, but I want to put it in its place and not have it on the floor where it causes a problem.
Absolutely. Oh, by the way, have you ever tried to clean a corner with a rotary machine? How does that work out for you?
Yeah, well, you know why I present what I do.
Exactly. Cylindrical machine will go right into the corner. Rotary machine will not. So just so many advantages, environmental advantages. You're lowering the amount of things that you're throwing in the trash. All those floor pads you're not throwing away anymore. You're using less water and chemicals. So I hope we have sparked your interest in cylindrical machines. If you're in any of the areas that I talked about that I represent, I'd be glad to come show you at your facility. But I appreciate you having me on here today. I look forward to doing more of these.
Hey, Ken, you know what? I don't have it up here on the scroll. I apologize. I didn't do that, but give everybody your email address so they can get hold of you. Or how do they get hold of you since you came on today?
All right. My email address is k.waddell, Waddell, at Tacony, that's TACONY.com. Or you can call me on my cell phone at 817-691-9296. I'd love to talk to you if you have any comments or questions, or you want to see any of these types of equipment that we talked about. I'd love to help out.
Now, folks, just because Ken is a manufacturer and because we happen to use his equipment is not the reason he came on to promote his product solely. I build these hacks. I just let Ken know that I was going to be, talking about his stuff today. And he said, I can't miss this opportunity. The thing is whenever I show a hack, it may be a different manufacturer, and it may not be a manufacturer that comes on and joins me to talk about their product. But I think the thing here in our free coaching sessions is we're not here to try to sell you a machine. We're not here to try to sell you on an item. We're here to sell you on a solution. And that solution to putting dirt in its place with an auto scrubber, in our experience, is with cylindrical brush technology. Whatever equipment manufacturer you're going to choose, I'm not really particular. Now, no, Ken wouldn't say that, and I said that with him sitting here, but hey, that's all right. Use cylindrical brush. If you don't have one, get hold of Ken. If you're out of that area and you want to talk about it, send me an email. Let me get mine here. Here's mine. You now have my email address scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Reach out to either one of us. We will be glad to help you, talk to you further about it. Next week at 2:00 is going to drop the hack. Next week, Monday at 2:30, we're going to be back here live again on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Please send me your question, your solution, maybe an idea you have, or maybe you just didn't like our two bald heads this afternoon. Anyway, let us know, and we appreciate it. I was watching the little ticker. We had 4 to 6 people join all the time. So we appreciate that. Our first broadcast here of 2023. Until next time, folks, we appreciate you being here. If you watch the recording, let us know. Hang on, I got a comment coming in here. A Great Clean says, thank you. We appreciate you being with us too. Till next week, folks, we're out of here.